everyone. Just gonna give everyone a minute to show up. Okay, I see some people are showing up. I'm gonna do a brief mail call from the car today, and we got a lot going on, but I didn't want to have mail call not happening. So, all right. So it looks like a lot of people are here. I wanted to give an update on what's been happening for the past 24 hours. Yesterday, right before mail call, maybe a little bit during mail call, I got a message from my mother that she had fallen, and I was on my way there anyway. So Nick had already gotten her up, and she was, I saw her a couple times during the day. In the morning, she was feeling a little dizzy. Afternoon, she said she was feeling a little bit more dizzy. And when I got back at 5 o'clock, Nick had just picked her up off the ground, and she said that she had tried to get out of the recliner and get into her wheelchair, and that she just didn't have the strength, and she was feeling terrible. And so I said, oh, okay, well, maybe it's because you haven't eaten since lunch. But she'd actually just eaten ice cream. I later learned that. But so I made her some soup for dinner. Well, actually, I gave her dinner something else first. She didn't like that, so I got her some soup. And I hung around the house fixing things and getting her organized. I put up the shelves in in her new closet, and thought everything was great. Went out to start feeding I checked in on mail call. Everything was fine. And then after mail call, Nick went back over to check on my mother. I went into the barn to feed, and Nick came out and said, she's not acting right. So I went over to see my mother. She wasn't acting right. She was very confused. And she was like, I'm really dizzy. And so I said, well, do you want to take you to the emergency room? We can get you in the car. I'll take you to the emergency room. She'd already hit the button, and the life alert was going off, which actually, because I didn't want to call life alert. I was like, we'll just put you in the car. We'll take you. It'll be fine. But I didn't want the big fire trucks and everything. But she hit the life alert, and I'm glad she did, because there's so much ice and everything else. And she was really dizzy when she tried to stand up. I was glad to have the 5 different firefighters holding her up and getting her into the stretcher and reeling the stretcher out over the ice and getting her into the fire truck, or the ambulance, not the fire truck. And so bottom line is, she went into the emergency room yesterday around, maybe it was probably 6:30. She was fortunate to get a room. We stayed till Elizabeth came with me. We stayed to about 1 o'clock in the morning. She definitely didn't feel good. She been throwing up. It turns out that I think what's happening is she has a UTI, and that seems to be resulting in a lot of confusion. And she's not well. She's just not well. I saw her this morning. She's still in the emergency, in the same room that she was last night. They've actually moved her since then to a room upstairs, which I'm now going to go visit her again and see if she's had any improvement. They're hoping to have some improvement on within the next 24 hours, because they put her on antibiotics, and so we'll see some improvement, hopefully. She did ask me if she was dying, and I told her no, because she's really sick. It's just an infection. She was like this about 2 months ago, but she has now since forgotten that she was this sick. And she'll be in the hospital till Friday. She's very excited she kept saying that she just loves her house. She wants to go back to her house, so that's good. And I'm not overly concerned about her sustainability, I was going to say, but her, I don't think that this is, she's not ready to check out. I think she'll be fine. I think she's just going to be in the hospital for another couple weeks. This is the process of aging. And when I was there last night, I looked around, and there were so many people, and they were all seniors, very senior people. In all of the rooms were taken up with, there was no somebody fell down and broke their leg. It was mostly in the seniors who were in rooms were in their 80s. There, as the night progressed, the hallway filled up with more, and it just really was a little bit of an eye-opener, making me recognize that that this is probably one of the challenges of the healthcare system. Is, you know, a lot of the baby boomers are getting older and needing care. But I think, you know, I joked with my mother. She did have a little bit of a sense of humor this morning. Last night she was so mad and so sick. She blamed this whole thing on the fact that I forced her to take a shower yesterday. But this morning she realized how crazy that was. And I was like, well, she was like, I don't feel good. I don't, you know. And I said, well, at least you're not the guy in the hall who's been in the hall all day. So that's the update on Carlene White. Everything else is, because we've been through this alarm so many times, that we now have the safety nets in place, that it really does not impact the farm as much as it has in the past. Judy went on a job to Saugus today with the dogs. I would have gone with her with rabbits, but I went to the hospital instead. And Elizabeth is feeding the animals tonight. I'm going back to feeding the. I'll check in on the dogs later tonight. They're all set up in their kennels. Sizzle's going to spend the night in the White House, and so it's everything's good. Everything's fine. One thing that did happen today that we are very, very pleased with is I got a call from a former SDP person. Her name's Heather. She used to do the overnights. A lot of you guys know her. She had come by and visited with my mother, and she's very interested in coming back and being part of Goldy's farm. And I remember Heather really. I really liked working with her. Not working with her, but her role with the overnights. She's really good. She's always positive, super nice person, and I think she'd be a fantastic help for Goldy's farm. And she said she's got a couple other friends that want to also come back and start helping with Goldy's farm. So I feel like there's a lot of hope in that, because over the next couple days, it's gonna with my mother gone, it'll be fine. I'm actually taking a quick trip to Aiken to. I have to meet the contractor, and I'm renting some of the space in my house, so I need to get all that sorted. So I'll be gone on Thursday and Friday. I'm picking up building materials in Aiken and then driving back. And because the building materials for the side of the barn are so much cheaper in Aiken, I decided to go down there, put the siding for the barn in the trailer, and drive it back here. It's going to save us about $1,000, so it's worth that. So I'm doing a quick little trip, and I am confident that between Heather and Elizabeth and Judy and I got a call from the neighbor who's, you know, she's willing to help, and so many people are reaching out, that I think that we'll be in great shape and everything will be fine. So that's all we got. Elizabeth sent out an email. We're coming clean on the status of Carlene White, the reasons why sometimes she is not part of mail calls, because sometimes she just sleeps through it. But she's really, you know, I'm watching as she's going through the final stages of her life, and she's really pretty happy with all of the followers. She gets a lot of enjoyment from knowing that she has a lot of followers still from the Service Dog Project, because it is hard for her that the Service Dog Project is no longer part of her life, and that her legacy has been tarnished in the last 3 years. But she's really excited about the future of Goldy's farm, whether she's around to enjoy it or not. She's excited that that the Goldy's farm is doing great things. So I just wanted to jump in for a few minutes, and maybe I can answer a few questions. I'm literally in the car. I had to pull over on the side of the road because I was like, I told Elizabeth I would give an update, and I didn't realize it was 5 o'clock. So I've spent the day with a lawyer, believe it or not, trying to get ready for March 27th. So it's a busy day. All right, so let me go back and see if I can find any. If you guys have any questions, just post them out quickly, and I can go ahead and answer them. If you have something in particular you want me to answer. So I'm reading that people are saying that their thoughts or prayers and all that. That's all good. Jane Worley, I can see Jane Worley, and congratulations. Do we need to send me a text message or reach out to Judy and let her know which picture you want for winning the Shatting on, was it yesterday? God, is today Tuesday? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's see. I'll go through these comments. They're going pretty fast. Let's see. How long will she be in the hospital? They're guessing till Friday, is what the nurse told me today. So, let's see. She's a virtual, okay. I'm a slow reader. Thanks for the update. Okay, so Brittany, you can see Jane Worley. Brittany White is there. Make sure you two connect, because Brittany is now doing all of our fulfillment. She's doing the t-shirts and the making sure that the chicken shatting people, I call it chicken bingo people get their get a pic of what they want for a picture, a framed picture, and also it gets mailed to them. So my sister is not coming back. I did talk to her briefly today, and she is thinking about coming up potentially next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. So we'll see about her visit, because it really is, at this point, the management of CARLENE White has become, we've all gotten pretty good at it. So, and the team is in place, and it's, I hate to say, but I feel like I've created a compound of, we've got Michelle, we've got Elizabeth, we've got Nick. She's surrounded by people. We even have the carpenters. I can't even tell you how helpful they are. And Wallace and Bow were there last night. There's just such a good group of people that are around, enjoying the farm and willing to help. The reason that the farm is in existence is CARLENE White was the one that put it all together. It's, she's the one that decided that the service dog project and the farm was going to be a philanthropic place, and it's nice to see that the people that we have on the farm all have that same commitment to giving back, and it's become like a happy place, and people are willing to help out. And that falls, the carpenters are, the two of them don't speak very much English, but they understand that, to help me carry things and help my mother get in and out of the wheelchair and in and out of the car and things like that. So it's really exceeding my expectations. All right, so Elizabeth will be back for mail call tomorrow, and she will answer lots of questions. I'll read through this later on today, and I'll respond to any questions that people might have specifically. But I'm going to just cut this short because I've got a few dogs here to feed, and then I've got to drive all the way to Beverly to go check in on my mother, and then I got to go back to the farm to feed more dogs and check the farm before I go back to cocktail hour. So I think I've earned myself a glass of Chardonnay tonight. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for checking in on this short, quick little mail call, and I appreciate everyone's support. And we'll see how this goes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.